Hello, welcome to my channel. This is going to be part 3 of working on this panel behind me. So I will start today with trying to implement some of the checkered patterns that I told you about. I thought about adding some water to the ivory black to begin the process, but I think I'm going to go ahead and use my acrylic marker for that. So that's just another way to do it. I think it might also give me more precision. So we're going to start with that. And then potentially when I'm done with the checkered patterns, I might, I like the colors the way they look right now, but I might actually potentially go through and add another layer of these colors to the checkered patterns to make it even pop some more. But I don't think that's going to be necessary, because usually what happens when you at the end varnish the panel, the artwork with the gloss varnish, then the colors also tend to pop. So I don't think that's going to be necessary. But I'm going to go ahead and use this to begin the patterns, checkered patterns, get that over with, so I can get to the next step for to create more designs on the panel. Okay, so I'm gonna waste any more of your time. We're going to begin using the this is a Posca, I think that's how you say it, acrylic marker. And basically, you just shake this a lot to get the paint all mixed in there. And then you actually press this on a hard surface and let the paint bleed through. Right now it's already saturated because I've used this for other stuff. I use this for drawing and for details, and there's many different variety and different sizes of this acrylic marker. So I'm going to go ahead and start now, and come with me. Every time you hear that, it's just me shaking the marker, and I pretty much am just pressing it against a hard surface to get it to bleed more, to saturate the tip. So for this, I think I want to go. There's like many ways that you can be creative. Use a lot of different tools. You don't have to be rigid with anything. As long as you like the outcome, you got to be flexible. And depend on the curve, whether it be concave or convex, it's gonna have its own impact. And I think once I'm done with the checkered patterns, then I will actually get it finished with acrylic paint with a much smaller brush. So that's going to be the plan here. Is just trying to draw this out first. All right, and I think I can stop here. So we're just going to go ahead and do get the checkered patterns going. So let's get this saturated some more. It tends to flow better if the surface is actually flat. Say if this was on the floor, then it obviously gravity helps you. But being that it's vertical, I have to shake this a lot more and get the fluid moving. Here we go. So it's going to be quite a large surface area to complete for the checkered pattern. So obviously, and that's why I'm going to use acrylic paint to finish it up. I'm just inputting the layout for it with the acrylic marker and finish it off with acrylic paint. I think for my next project, I'll probably, on a slightly smaller panel, I'll work on doing a drawing with acrylics on a panel and finish it off with acrylic paint. So I think, so we're just about done with the layout here. Okay. All right, so I like how this is looking right now. So we're gonna stop with the acrylic marker, and then we're gonna go ahead and I will mix. I'm just gonna dilute the ivory black acrylic paint with just a little bit of water and go ahead and finish the actual pattern on this. So I will go ahead and get that ready right now. And you probably noticed by now that we have dogs in this neighborhood. There's lots of dogs around here. And obviously my dog's a little curious. There he is right there. I don't know if you can see him in the camera. What are you looking at, Cujo? Huh? This is paint. It's not food. Okay? You can't have none of this. It's still pretty thick, so it's not runny, you know, but it's diluted. So I think it's a good consistency to work with. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe, maybe not, but Cujo, you're in my way. You're gonna have to move. I can't work with you sitting right there. So the pattern's set, and all I'm doing is just completing the checkered patterns with the ivory black that I just mixed slightly with a little bit of water. And I've got a good amount here, and hopefully this will be enough to finish the job. If not, then I can always mix some more to complete the patterns here. A lot of times the patterns that I have in my work is just inspired by the work itself. Sometimes the piece will let you know what exactly it wants or that it needs. So as long as you go with your intuition, you will be fine. I'm going to speak briefly on the idea of ownership, because that seems to be a big deal, especially in our world today. Owning things, owning, you know, people, animals, land, property. And I'm just going to leave you with the word of wisdom by James Baldwin in one of his speech. He's talking about ownership, and I believe this wholeheartedly. Nothing belongs to you. You're only here for a time to learn your lessons, to grow, to make your impact, to whatever mission you came here to do. Paraphrasing, he says, nothing belongs to you. You can only take if you're prepared to give. And giving is not an investment. Though you may have raised those kids for 20 years, 15, 20 years, they don't belong to you. You may have spent 20 years, 30 years paying for the house. It does not belong to you. Nothing belongs to you. You can only take if you're prepared to give. Giving is not an investment. It's a risk of you, of who you think you are, who you think you'd like to be, where you think you'd like to go, what you like to see in this world, in this forever. So just keep that in mind. Possession, ownership. You want to own everything. Everything is a state of mind. I say I'm just here to do the best I can. I'm just passing through to learn, to grow, to inspire others, leave my mark. I don't care about titles. I don't care about culture. These are my opinion. It might sound harsh, but it's just me, and that's where that's my mentally, that's where I am. I see culture and traditions and what they cause and what they do. The problem with that is it's one of those things where there's no balance. So traditions, cultures, all that stuff, they're similar to processes of indoctrination, and people cling to them and it becomes their identity. None of that stuff is my identity. But you can cling so tightly that you don't see how it causes division amongst yourselves. So be careful what you believe. There's nothing wrong with appreciating a culture. But you got to know where it ends. You got to know when to think for yourself, make your own decisions. Whether it be contrary to your culture, doesn't matter. But there are those who love to follow. There's a saying that there are those who see, there are those who will see when you show them, and there are those who will not see at all, no matter what you do. I don't know, I'm laughing, but such is the world we live in today. Oh my goodness. Just on a side note, this might edit this part or might not. I don't know yet. We'll see. So, the nature of reality. Someone once said, and that someone is Jessica Hayding, JessicaHayden.com, I think. She does a podcast. She talked about entheogens, plant medicine, ayahuasca, and more. I think she's also a hypnotherapist, if I'm not mistaken, but she's got a podcast. And in one of her experiences, she mentioned that in one of her experiences, she was told that because she was asking the question, what is the nature of reality? And the response to that question was that the nature of reality is flexible. Isn't that is so true? Well, let's just say that that tends to resonate with me. The nature of reality is flexible. I think the mind plays a big role with what you consider to be reality. The more closed off your mind is, the less you're willing to entertain, then your reality is not going to be as broad, right? You always got to keep an open mind. And hear out those that you don't even agree with, that you disagree with. I find that the more contrary position or contrary opinions that I entertain, the better I know what I think, the better I know where I stand. So I need oppositions, or I need contrary views, or that interaction to figure out what it is I actually think about something. And if you don't entertain contrary ideas, then basically you're just matching to a band. That's your team. So you don't get a broader picture, a broader overview of what's going on. You're obviously not going to see the complete picture while you're still here with this body. But if you are to expand and to learn, then you have to realize that everything, all expressions, is part of what you'd call the all there is. In all its manifestations, and form is not that important. That's how I like to, for me at least, when people say God, well, that's another topic. What is God? The more limited you are, the more limited and the more you have your mind in a box, the more strict beliefs that you have to adhere to, then obviously your definition of God is going to be the same thing. Strict, in a box, very narrow, defined. And the more you expand, the more you expand, your concept of who God is will expand until you begin to transcend all those gods. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't take anything at face value. Remember that everything that you see, be it on the television, everything can be doctored. Everything has an agenda. So if you take everything as face value, then when they say jump, you say how high. You don't want to be that gullible, all that controllable. Like you see, it certainly helps to just quickly get the layout for the checkered patterns done with the acrylic marker. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn off the camera here. I think it's been going on for some time now. I don't know how long I have been doing this. So I will turn off the camera and keep working on this. And once it is finished, I will come back and show it to you, and then I will work on this some more at some other time. That way, you know, I can try to limit how to the parts that I have put up on YouTube to no more than 4 parts. But we'll see. But that's the plan. So I think for right now, I still got to do this bit over there. And so let me finish that and then briefly come back and show that to you. And then we'll stop there, pending when I come back and do some more work to the panel. Okay. All right. Okay. So finally just got done with the checkered patterns, like I talked about. So I had to cut the video short because it was taking a lot of time, and I didn't want to have to, go through the whole process with you watching that. But we're finally done with it, and I think it came out pretty well. So that's what I was had in the back of my head that I was trying to. I was talking about earlier when I started out with the different colors, and I did mention that these colored that I was going to have a more of a checkered effect, using the ivory black acrylic paint, just with a mixture of a little of water. So just watered down just a little bit. It's still pretty thick consistency, but it was perfect for what I needed to do, and using the acrylic marker first to go through the actual layout of how the checkered pattern is going to look, and then finish it off with the acrylics. So it came out pretty well. It's wet right now. Literally just got done and turned the camera back on so that you get to see um, the finished. This work, the panel isn't, the artwork isn't done yet, but the checkered pattern is complete. So it's still wet. It's got to dry. So potentially, it is possible that later this evening I might come back and continue working on this, or it's going to be tomorrow, or whenever the next time I have more time to work on it. Um, Potentially, I might put this up as part 3, which I think that might happen. Very, very likely that I'm going to put this up as part 3, or I might wait until I have more stuff added on to try to combine those together. But then the video might be too long. So I think the checkered pattern, I think this might be sufficient for part 3. Um, but anyways, it looks good to my liking, and it just needed to dry. So it came out pretty nicely, and so far I'm actually pleased with it so far. Also bear in mind too that I'm using a camera to tape this, so you don't really get to see the. It's more vibrant, in person, and obviously with the glare and the lighting, you don't get to see it as it, to get the real satisfaction. Um, but the camera we just have to do for now. So this is it. And there's more to be added on here to finally get this complete. And I got to complete the sides, and then finally get it varnished with a gloss varnish. And that means that it's going to uniform the colors and it's going to pop even more. Then I'll take photos of it as well. And I'll put it up on my website as well, for you to see the photos and the finished product. But thank you for being with me so far, watching from part 1 to part 2, and now this is going to be part 3. Definitely much appreciative, and please share, like, subscribe to my channel if you find any value in my work, and I'm definitely much appreciative of your support. It means a lot to me, and I'm going to continue creating content and putting it up on my channel. So I thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.